All right, Beer Night followers, this is episode 23 of Beer Night, the last segment of our episode. So it's like segment 5 of episode 23.
Usually segment 5.
Usually. Five. What? Who decided to do 5 segments of Beer Night, of episodes? Who decided this shit?
I blame you.
Blame me? This is ridiculous. I'm so too drunk to do this shit. Jenna! What was her actually?
That's right. She was kind of our saving grace because she would save us in the 5th segment because she would just say a bunch of shit and then would give us something to talk about and then we could bone out.
Yeah, exactly. We need you on this. We need you to replace Zach. We need you here. Well, Zach, buddy, he's definitely messed up. You know. Yeah, just a quick little thing. Zach, why we named him Zach? You know, you maybe think Zach Wild, maybe.
No,
I'm thinking my buddy Zach Montoya, who passed away not too long ago. I got him on my little tattoo there. My buddy Zach passed away a while ago, 10 plus years ago, from a heart transplant. It's kind of reminding, he's a big Halloween guy. He's a big like music guy too as well, and it's kind of reminded me, let's just name this guy Zach a little bit, put him on the show because he would have loved it. He would have loved this shit. So I'm starting to get a little emotional. My buddy Zach, I miss you, buddy. I miss you, buddy. We did a lot of. A lot of things. We did shred for Schweb, shredding for loved ones way back when. It's, if you know, you know. If you don't, oh, fucking well, maybe we'll get into it later. But I don't know why I thought about that right now. It just came to mind. Miss you, buddy. Miss you, Zach Montoya. But that's why we kind of named him Zach. Well, I named him Zach anyway. This is the video game set. We'll get off that. Video game segment of Beer Night episode 23. What have we been playing lately? You've been fucking across the world, haven't playing shit. I've been playing a lot of stuff. I'll start. I finished Resident Evil 4. Great fucking game on PS5, the remaster, whatever it is. Great shit. So they got a new DSL thing going on.
DSL.
Is it DLC? DLC. Whatever it's called.
DSL. Slow ass internet. That's what they got for you. They just dialed you right up with some slow ass.
So internet. I haven't bought it yet. I really want to. It looks interesting. So I definitely want to get that.
It's from the. You're talking about the Ava.
Yeah.
Or Ada Wong. That's from the original.
It's from the original.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. I never played the original, so. Looks interesting. Looks cool. Looks awesome. I kind of want to buy it and get it, so I'll get that for sure.
Have you played the Mercenaries at all?
No, I have not yet.
The Mercenaries is awesome.
It's fun. You like it?
Mercenaries is awesome.
I'll play it eventually.
So I've played Resident Evil 4 3 times through now. I did my third
on the PS5.
So new
third
game.
Play?
So new game plus
on PS5.
No, on
3 times.
Yes. What are we talking about here?
What?
So I did,
already?
So I did New Game Plus.
Yes.
Beat that, and then did New Game Plus. Beat that. Just finished that recently.
Jesus Christ.
So because I wanted to upgrade.
Oh, you couldn't do it during the second plus?
No, because I went back and did the old ones too. I went back and bought some of the old weapons I had offloaded and wanted to upgrade those too. Not like the old ones. Like some of the handguns, I did the Red 9, the Punisher, because I love the laser sight. That's my jam. I love
laser sight's good.
So I upgraded the Punisher, upgraded the Red 9. Mm-hmm. Before that, I had already upgraded the Matilda and the black, whatever, the Black Hawk or whatever.
I don't remember what it's called.
Blacktail. Okay. So the only one left behind is the original handgun, the Jig, because that's kind of shitty. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the original shotgun, that's kind of shitty. But I went and fully upgraded the riot gun because I like that in addition to the striker, and I did the TMP in addition to the other submachine gun, the MP5 that you get. So I just wanted to upgrade everything. It's just fun.
Right on.
I had to upgrade it all, and
you got
shoot some shits.
Shoot some shits. There you go. Well, perfect. Well, you mean third time through. You already know. I mean, you played it on GameCube. You played it on PS3. I'm pretty sure. PS4 maybe the remaster on there, and then the remaster on 5. There you go. This is a great game. Solid game. Love
it's fantastic.
Love it.
It's just fantastic. It's so fun. You gotta do the mercenaries. The mercenaries.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'll get to it. I'll get to it for
It's
sure.
awesome.
For sure.
It's just fun.
I'll get to it.
You'll just want to keep getting a higher and higher score.
Yeah.
And it's addicting.
It's addicting for sure. Have you ever heard of the game called Alan Wake?
Yes, of course.
Yes, I played that, the remastered version. It was free on the last PS Plus subscription, whatever it was. I downloaded it and played it. It's a good game. I like it a lot. It's about you got a writer, and struggling to write a new book, and him and his wife go to a fucking off secured cabin, and he tries to write, and there's fucking craziness ensues as a horror genre of a writer. It's really good. I really like it, especially from a writer's standpoint. It definitely, it's actually a hard game too, a little bit here and there. But from a writer's standpoint, you collect was it manuscripts or something like that? Manuscripts. There you go. Manuscripts and everything. Manuscripts. Whatever.
Manuscripts.
Really.
It sounds like
manuscripts.
Manuscripts. The screenplay for a gay porn.
Yeah.
Right there. Manuscripts.
Manuscripts. You collect those and you try and figure out what's going on. It's a really good game. I love it a lot. It's a really cool horror writer game. It's fantastic. I love it. It's a good game. Make sure you check that out. What else I've been playing? I just started The Quarry. So I bought that one not too long ago. It's an easy game. You really don't fucking do nothing but make decisions. You kind of walk around, try and find some clues here and there. But it's mostly like just a decision game. That's all you do. You just make decisions. You can do this or you can do that. Which one are you gonna do? I don't know. If it's right or wrong, you'll figure it out. And if you die, you die. If you don't, you don't.
He dies.
He dies. So that's kind of my extent. I've been playing MLB, The Show 23 for a little bit too as well here and there. Some Gran Turismo 7. Still. Got the new updates. Got the new cars. I'm trying to collect every car I possibly can.
Did you see the movie?
I did. I actually did. I was surprised I didn't put that in my fucking movie segment. I did watch the movie. I liked it a lot, actually.
Okay. I haven't seen it yet. So
it's really cool. It's really cool to see the tracks in live action. If they are live action, if they're not like.
Well, I mean, I actually watch auto racing, so I see a lot of the circuits and.
It's really cool to see. I like it a lot. Especially the tracks I like that a lot.
Like which ones?
Like the ones, the 24-hour one in France.
Yeah, where they have Le Mans.
There you go, that one.
Circuit de la Sake.
Yes, that one for sure. There's another one too. I can't remember the fucking name of. But they got the tracks from the game and stuff. It's a really cool movie. I like it a lot. It's good. If you're a fan of it, obviously. Yeah, so you should definitely watch that. It's a good movie with the video game. It's good. I like it a lot. Anything else you've been playing? Anything?
So I've still been trudging through Elden Ring because that's like the never-ending game. Because it just
never ends. It's just you do so much, huh?
Well, because you can get caught up doing just exploring the world and just doing all sorts of stuff on the side, and it's a 200-hour game. I mean, really, like I'm looking at it, I'm looking at the time, but I'm like, this is a 200-hour game, no problem. And usually, when you want to say an RPG is really long, you're like, it's an 80-hour game. It's so long. This is every bit of a 200-hour game. Like, it really is. And it's crazy. So, still kind of just trudging through that, having fun with it and playing around.
There you go.
So, I finished, I don't know if we talked about this in the last episode, but I finished kind of all my side stuff with God of War.
Okay. Did you finish the game completely or no? Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, perfect. Perfect.
And so, kind of moved on from that, and then started playing. I played the Dead Space remake.
Oh,
Did
good.
that,
Good fucking game.
and
Love it.
also New Game Plus on that because again,
I didn't play the plus on that yet. Not
Oh,
yet.
come on, because you got to
I
upgrade.
will. I will. You gotta upgrade
You
it.
gotta upgrade the weapons all the
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
That's really what. That's why I want to play New Game Plus. I'm like, I gotta upgrade the
Upgrade
weapons.
the weapons.
I just get greedy.
I will. I
I
will
get greedy with
eventually.
that shit. So, and then of course Resident Evil, like we talked about, Resident
Yeah.
Evil 4.
Yeah.
Because it's same thing. Like is once you get
Played
through it
3 times.
Once you get through it, the initial, then I had to then play New Game Plus to upgrade all my weapons all the way like Dead Space. Then I was like New Game Plus. It's like I want to go back and some of the weapons I sold off, I want to rebuy those and kind of upgrade those all the way. For fun.
If you're a good gamer, you would upgrade them in the first playthrough. So.
But I guarantee you haven't.
No, well, of course not. But if you were, you claim to be a good gamer, you would have upgraded all those weapons the first time I went through.
You can't.
You would have find all those fucking unlocks and everything.
There's not unlocks. It's just money.
Money. You would find all the money.
You can't. It's not possible. It's just like Dead Space.
Yeah.
Dead Space is not possible to upgrade all the weapons until a second playthrough fully. If you played the games and paid close enough attention, you would realize this.
I don't know. I think I've seen some awesome gamers do it the first time
You
through.
You think you have?
I think I
or
have.
Are you just saying that?
I think I have.
Yeah. Why don't you go find one of those think you haves for me and show it to me?
Maybe I will.
Because it's not possible. Now, if you just want to upgrade one weapon all the way, you could do that, but not all of them. You can't earn enough money until New Game Plus. It's newsflash, people. Steve doesn't seem to understand this, but believe it or not, video game developers like to encourage you to play New Game Plus, and they set up things like that in order to keep you playing.
Let us know in the comments
go into
about
New
that,
Game Plus and say, I want to now upgrade things fully. Now, in an open world game, you could do that. You could just roam around and continue to farm shit until you have enough. But in a linear game like Dead Space or Resident Evil 4, you can't do that. You can't just roam around and continue to farm shit until you have enough gold to upgrade everything fully.
All right.
You actually have to play New Game Plus, which makes it even more fun, by the way, because the enemies get stronger and you need your upgraded weapons at that point. It's by design.
Okay.
By design.
If you say so.
You would know this if you actually played New Game Plus.
I do. I do eventually. I did on the Spider-Man one.
That's open world. It's different. Talking about linear.
What else?
Linear, because it's different.
I'm trying to remember what other games I played on Plus. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I've played a couple games on
because
Plus.
an open world game, you can just run around and farm
or The Last of Us. I think I have played on Plus to upgrade everything. It's the only one I think of immediately.
Well, then why didn't you? In Last of Us, why didn't you just upgrade everything in the first playthrough? You wouldn't have to do Plus.
I'm not a great gamer like you are, apparently. You're apparently a great gamer.
Because I played New Game Plus, I'm a great gamer?
Well, no. I don't know.
You don't know. You really don't.
Whatever. Anything else you've been playing?
Keep trying, Johnny.
Or should we get to our video game question?
What's a video game question? We got
a video game question? Yes, we have a video game question. I'm drunk. This is the last...
I'm drunk. It's okay. I'm drunk.
I'm trying to get through this. I'm hosting this shit. I'm trying to get through here. Who is your favorite or slash hardest villain slash boss you've ever beaten or from a video game? Like what's the hardest boss or villain you've ever encountered?
Not hardest. The hardest,
or even like love to face,
So favorite or hardest?
Favorite. Give me both. Give me both, maybe. What you got? What you got in your brain?
So what immediately comes to mind? I don't know if this falls in the category of favorite or hardest.
Yeah.
I don't really think it falls into either because it's kind of annoying, but it's also really cool at the same time. What immediately comes to mind is Psycho Mantis from Metal Gear Solid. The very first one.
Very first one? I never
played PlayStation 1.
I never played it.
So it was just a really creative, different boss battle. So Psycho Mantis is a psychic, right? And he can read your mind. He knows everything you're going to do before you do it.
Okay.
So you shoot at him and he dodges. He knows you're about to shoot at him. You do anything you do, you can't touch the guy. You
Because
really can't touch him.
he knows what
He
you're
knows.
doing. Yeah.
And so, spoiler alert, we're talking PlayStation 1, so hopefully you guys have played this.
Spoiler alert!
So, you're in communication with your radio people that your support, right? And they're trying to help you fight this guy, and you can't figure out what the hell to do. You can't touch the guy. And then finally, they're like, hey, he can read your thoughts. He knows what you're doing. So maybe if you switch, what you're doing, he can't figure it out. He can't read your mind anymore. And you're like, well, what the fuck does that mean? You keep going and nothing is. And then finally, they tell you, why don't you try switching controller ports? Because he won't be able to read what you're doing at that point. If you switch controller ports, he won't read your thoughts. He won't be able to read your thoughts anymore. This is back when you had controller ports before wireless, before Bluetooth. So you actually had to pause the game, go unplug your controller, plug it into player 2, and then start playing, and all of a sudden you can start hitting him. And it's like, what the fuck? It works.
That's great.
It was so cool and so creative. Like, it was so different. Like, nothing in video games had ever existed like it. It was just so innovative and just so, like, wacky and creative. And it was just like, one of those mind-blowing moments. And by the way, the original Metal Gear Solid had so many of those mind-blowing moments. Yeah. Like, so many. Like, it was such an innovative, we've talked about on this channel before, like, it was such a game changer for all games, from the cinematic element, the cutscenes, the storyline, the high concept stuff like nuclear war, genetic experimentation, genetic modification, human cloning, genetically modified viruses, bioterrorism, just all this high concept stuff that you didn't have in video games before. And then on top of that, you had weird gameplay quirks like that, where it was just like, it was almost like they thought of everything, and then some. Like,
it's crazy that you would have to unplug the first port to put in the 2, and just
if you remember,
it would work.
If you remember games back then,
crazy.
if you had your controller in player 2 in any other game, it wouldn't work.
You would have to go to.
It has to be in player 1, right? It has to be player 1. Player 2 would only work when you're playing a 2-player game, and then it would be second player. It wouldn't work for it. It was the first game ever where, as player 1, you could plug into player 2 and it would work.
That's crazy.
It was,
I didn't know that.
Not only that, but it was like a component of the story. Like, it was a part of the story. Like, they thought
through
Hideo Kojima thought, like, okay, I'm gonna create this. It was just super creative. Like, it was just never nothing like that has never been done really even since. So when you play something like Death Stranding, and you see all the wacky shit in that game, like, you understand his mind, like how he was thinking, and that goes way back to PlayStation 1. So that's what immediately comes to mind. What was also cool about that game is it had a lot of action movie elements, a lot of the fight scenes, like the epic boss battles that you would see in movies, from like Bruce Lee movies to even something like Die Hard, or Schwarzenegger movies, Stallone movies, stuff like that, where you'd have the big fist fight at the end or something like that.
Yeah.
It was just really cool. So that's what immediately comes to mind. Other than that, like, I think of fighting games. Like, I think of the 4 bosses in Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Balrog, Vega, Sagat, and then M. Bison.
I think of,
like, those are just so burned into your brain. Like, it's just, it's almost inescapable.
Was it Mortal Kombat 1?
Goro
and Shao Kahn.
Goro and Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
Goro especially. Was like, what the fuck?
Like,
and then you get to Shang Tsung and he just morphs into every character from the game. You're like, this is ridiculous.
How can I beat this motherfucker? It's ridiculous. And you finally do, and you party for a year.
Yeah.
Like, besides those old school ones, like some new school, like Uncharted 2, the boss on there was really fun to play.
The final boss?
The final boss was really fun to try and figure out and how to kill him.
That kind of brings back what I was talking about with Metal Gear Solid 2, with like that the big fist fight at the end of an action movie, like Indiana Jones or Die Hard, or Like I said, the Schwarzenegger Stallone movies, where you always had that action movie element where you get to the final boss at the end, the final guy you had to fight.
Even like the God of War games, they always have those, especially the newer ones, like the Valkyries.
Dude,
are fucking ridiculous, and even
the
newest one,
the old ones too,
like the God of War one in the first one, and then Zeus
and God of War 2.
2, yeah, I'm thinking
and
3, and 3, and then the newest one, the what was the war? Were those guys the kings of something or
the Berserkers?
Berserkers,
yeah,
yeah,
which is like the Valkyries.
Valkyries, but those were so hard, so fun to even.
So I'm glad you brought up.
I'm
glad you brought up God of War because I kind of forgot about it. And those boss battles in that game, starting from God of War 1 all the way through every single one. Santa Monica Studios, come on, those guys made such an amazing series of games. That franchise is incredible. But I think the ones that stand out the most are probably God of War 3. That game was just so fucking epic the first time you played it. You start out fighting Poseidon, right? And you fight Helios and just all these great boss battles and the Hercules. I remember when, oh God, there's so many great battles in that game. And it's just, they're difficult too. They're challenging. They're not easy.
So hard.
But every time you win, you just feel like
such
a badass.
Remote smashing, like fucking just God damn it.
And then when you win, you feel like such a badass. You're like, Kratos is the baddest motherfucker on the who ever lived.
I don't think Kratos is. I am the fucker. I fucking did it. Yeah.
It's just so awesome. It's just speaking of really difficult boss battles that give you insane satisfaction, the Dark Souls series. Yeah. There's not really one that stands out amongst all of them. Not really, honestly, because they're all motherfuckers. But just the feeling that you get of accomplishment, of just the sense of this insurmountable odds that seem impossible, but then you finally beat it and you're like, oh my God, I did it. And it's like this huge sense of accomplishment. It's not quite what you get from God of War, because God of War just... with Kratos being dropped into the Greek mythology universe, it just adds this extra element that just seems much more epic. But it's along those lines where you just once you win and once you finish the enemy, you're like, yeah,
feel so happy.
Yeah,
it's just you just yelling on top of you, like your wife is like, what? What do you want?
I just kicked this motherfucker's ass.
Yeah, what do you think? Finally did it after 5 billion tries. Well, that wraps up our video game segment. Let us know.
It? Okay.
I think that's it. Let us know in the comments too. What's your favorite villain, boss that you fought that you got super excited about?
Sure,
super happy. I'm pretty sure there's more.
There's
plenty.
There's
a lot.
There's so many.
The Sonic stuff, like Sonic 2, like the old school stuff. It definitely kind of comes to mind a little bit.
You mentioned like Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
like being a comic book fan, especially a Spider-Man fan. Like I own like all the Spider-Man comic books, so to fight the villains in that, as I used to read the comic books and watch Spider-Man fight them, and to actually be able to do it was really cool. Yeah. And can't wait for the new
Spider-Man
one.
2.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Looks amazing.
There's so many cool ones, like so many cool just shootouts. Like there's so many games. Doom, the boss battles in Doom were always really cool.
Yeah.
Old school to go really old school.
There you go. Right
shooting.
there.
There's a lot of really good ones in shooting games. Yeah, I mean, like talked about Resident Evil 4. The boss battles
in there is ridiculous. Yeah. Let us know in the comments on what you guys think of the greatest boss battles, greatest villains of all times that you guys fought and struggled with and fucking had the moment when you finally defeated them. Let us know in the comments. That wraps up our fucking lustrous, long episode of episode 23.
Did you say lustrous?
Lustrous? Is that a word?
So, can you explain to me what that means?
Fucking tainty, loving, wet, sogging, loving beer night spectacular. That's what it means.
Sounds pretty lusty.
Yes, that's what it means, baby. That's what we're going with.
Lustrous.
File
that one away, folks.
Full of words
That's
over here.
That's another Steveism right
there.
there.
Vocabulary is astonishing.
Not your strong suit. That's what vocabulary is.
It's great. Vocabulary is outstanding.
Lustrous. He thinks outstanding is a big word.
Oh. So this is a little inside shit. So I don't know if anyone cares about this shit,
baseball?
but I'm doing it anyway. So when I was at my academy for where I work at, there's this one lieutenant that would always fucking say outstanding constantly, and it's in my head grinding every time I hear that fucking word. I think of my lieutenant. Outstanding. Little inside joke there for you. There you go.
Way too much enthusiasm by that lieutenant.
Outstanding. That's how it works. Make sure you guys stay outstanding. Cheers to you. Episode 23 Beer Night is a wrap. We'll see you next time for episode 24, season finale.
Prost.
Prost.